Let's jump right in. Welcome to The Explainer. If you've ever seen the Bodensee or Lake Constance, you know it's an absolute jewel right at the base of the Alps. It is breathtaking. But right now, well, this alpine treasure is sending out a desperate signal to the rest of the world. It's getting hit with these unprecedented, overlapping crises that are completely overshadowing its natural beauty. So let's unpack exactly what is happening. Okay, let's dive into this. Because to truly grasp what's going on, we have to look past the dry meteorological data and focus on the real people affected. A local boat captain actually summed it up perfectly. He said, "We're not just losing water, we're losing our livelihood." And it's so true. Every single morning you've got locals out there physically moving their moorings, just trying to keep their boats afloat. It's so easy to get lost in the abstraction of climate data, but man, this grounds us in the human stakes right away. Entire livelihoods are literally evaporating right alongside the water. And we have to zoom out for a second because Lake Constance isn't just some pretty vacation spot. It's honestly the heart of Europe. Being the second largest lake in Central Europe, it acts as this massive shared lifeline. We're talking millions of people relying on this one single body of water just for their daily survival and operations. Think of it like a meticulously balanced engine connecting three different nations. For Germany, it's a giant reservoir, pumping out absolutely crucial drinking water. Over in Austria, it's a vital, bustling artery for cargo and transport. And for Switzerland, it is the absolute backbone of their local tourism and recreation economy. So you can imagine, when the lake takes a hit, all three of these nations feel the impact immediately. It's all connected. The problem is, that engine is faltering right now. We're pivoting from the lake's grandeur to its most pressing, in-your-face physical threat, the vanishing shoreline. What used to be the seemingly endless expanse of deep, blue alpine water is retreating fast. Once bustling harbors are rapidly turning into these totally inaccessible mudflats. It's visually jarring, and it's acting as the region's absolute loudest alarm bell. Now, what's really staggering about the data we're looking at is this exact number, 1.5. As of August 2026, the water sits a shocking 1.5 meters below its long-term average. I mean, that is a massive drop. Months of intense drought and record evaporation have just stripped away a staggering volume of water. It's gotten so bad that heavy vessels are being forced to restrict their cargo, and local marinas are having to completely shut down. And when you look at the trend over the last decade, it's undeniably alarming. The drop from 10 years ago to 5 years ago, down to where we are today, is steep. Scientists are confirming that this is being driven by a rapidly warming alpine climate and shrinking glaciers. So unfortunately, this terrifying decline isn't just some temporary summer dip we can wait out. It's pointing toward a frightening new normal.
But the retreating water, that's really only half the story here. The drought is severe, for sure, but it's not the only crisis hitting the region. In recent days, the headlines haven't just been about dry docks and mud. They've been about lost lives. We're seeing active, devastating emergencies unfolding right now, which is a very somber reminder that the water itself has recently turned incredibly deadly.
It creates a really harsh dichotomy. On one side, you have this beautiful lake acting as the ultimate life-giving resource, providing water, jobs, and joy. But on the flip side, we are getting a stark, tragic reminder that nature here remains incredibly dangerous and unforgiving. Even when it's suffering from a drought, a massive alpine lake is wild. It's unpredictable, and it demands our profound respect because when conditions turn, they can turn fatal in an instant. Just look at the relentless string of localized tragedies we've seen this week alone. 4 days ago, on August 2nd, an 80-meter deep dive emergency near Überlingen ended in the tragic deaths of two highly experienced technical divers, a 46-year-old woman and a 64-year-old man. Then, yesterday, a sudden violent thunderstorm swept a 65-year-old woman right off a motorboat near Kressbronn. And today, as we speak, a massive international search operation is underway, with over 200 rescue personnel scouring the waves since dawn. The emotional toll this single week has taken on the community is just unimaginable. So now you have these compounding crises, the extreme drought colliding with these sudden tragedies, and it's triggering a massive economic ripple effect. You've got marinas trapped in mudflats, ferries running with restricted weights, and on top of that, a really heavy atmosphere of sorrow that is obviously deterring visitors. A tourism industry that usually generates billions is finding itself suddenly paralyzed by a situation that is completely out of its control. And this brilliantly illustrates the genuine heartbreaking anxiety on the ground right now. Take it from one local hotel owner who said that guests arriving right now aren't talking about the gorgeous views anymore. They're asking about the low water and they're asking about the missing woman. She noted, "It's not the holiday we want to offer." These business owners are watching the holiday experience they pride themselves on slip away, and they are deeply worried not just for this summer, but for the future of the entire region. Yet, even when things look incredibly bleak, human resilience always seems to shine through. The people of the Bodensee are tough. This lake has watched empires rise and fall, and these local communities are absolutely determined to find a brief spark of joy and celebration amidst the heavy sorrow that's blanketing the region right now.
Which brings us to this Saturday, August 8th. The city of Konstanz is going to host its famous Seenachtfest, the Lakeside Night Festival. And honestly, it is such a powerful, defiant tradition. Despite everything going on, the bay is going to light up. There will be live music across multiple stages and a truly spectacular fireworks display. For one night, the lake isn't going to be a site of drought or a scene of tragedy. It's going to be a stage for celebration. It's a vivid reminder to the locals of exactly why they love this place, even in its darkest hours. A much-needed breath of fresh air.
But, of course, as the fireworks fade, the reality of the morning remains. These record lows and these tragic accidents are all interconnected. Moving forward, it is absolutely crucial that we follow a few core principles. Stay safe on the water, stay informed on those rapidly changing conditions, and actively work to protect our vital waters, because nature requires our proactive respect now more than ever.
As we mourn the lost divers, wait for news on the missing woman, and literally watch the shoreline retreat meter by meter, we really have to ask ourselves, will we learn to respect the changing waters before they disappear completely? It's a heavy question, and one that applies far beyond the shores of Lake Konstanz. Thank you so much for joining me to unpack the complexities of this crisis. And please, if you are in the region, remember to check the official police and water authority channels for the very latest updates. Stay safe out there, and never ever take the water for granted.